Good morning here from a very tired, dishevelled Stephen. How are you doing today? Someone actually said to me, why do you keep saying you're tired on the videos? I think it's because I'm trying to excuse my dishevelled appearance all the time. So if you wonder why I mention it a lot, it's because of that. Anyway, I just realised I've doubled down on that. Anyway, good morning. It's very early here. It was 9 o'clock actually. I've not had a shower yet. I've got my coffee still on the go from my Idle Hands Cup in Manchester. Big Blue runs that place. Check it out if you want something to do today. And we're live with a little bit of transfer news. Good morning to Dub in the chat, and Rob James says, morning boss, right back at you, mate. How you doing, Rob? Good morning to Sarah Sutcliffe as well. Good to see you guys in the chat. A little bit of breaking transfer news to go with your pancakes and your coffee or whatever. Matt, the family's very good, mate. I'm in a really nice mood actually. We got a little bit of sleep because Nicola's mum came around this morning very early, and the little man is good. And I was just walked downstairs to see this. This might not mean anything to you guys, but I just walked downstairs to see this, and the back of the heads there. There's two tiny, a tiny head there, Nicola's head there, and a little head there. My 3 family members watching Paddington Bear, and it was really cute. So I'm very good, mate. I'm very good. So I've got a little family now, and it's lovely, and I'm very happy. And I'm in a good mood to talk about transfers today anyway. Hello to Usman as well, to Dave, to Cupid, to Darshall, and Owen as well. So I'll go over to the news for you. It comes from Tijjani Reijnders. I wanted to do a video last night about the transfer quotes from our wonderful chairman that came out of the interview. And it's one of those things where I didn't get a chance to do it last night because it's just various reasons. But this blends nicely into that, which I'll talk about today. We've got a lot of sort of overlap between the quotes yesterday and this transfer news this morning, which I think are very well timed. If you didn't see, I'll go back to the quotes from last night, by the way, for the context. Where is it from? Cal Doon's quotes, blah, 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 blah. Where's it gone? He talked about the transfers. Where have we gone? Well, let's find it. He talked about how we weren't aggressive enough but basically, there we go. He said, we clearly identified who exactly our targets, in what positions. We have a clear number 1 option and a clear number 2 option. We'll go about our business, but it'll be very clear and very swift. Our objective is to be ready with a new squad for the Club World Cup. So essentially, they've got 2 weeks, really. 2 weeks to get these transfers done if they want to be ready for the Club World Cup. This is relevant because of the news this morning. I don't think it's a coincidence. Obviously, this would have been filmed about a week ago, you know. And I think City have already shown signs that they're already moving on to target 2. I would very much guess target 1 for number 10. What was target 1 for number 10 in the chat? Please answer that question. Will I have a sip of coffee because you guys know the answer? It was Mr. Florian Wirtz. He was clearly target number 1. But target number 2? Do you think it's a coincidence? Do you think it's a coincidence that a few days later, after target number 1, it turns out he's going to Liverpool, or not coming to City, Ryan Shirky appears on the list? That is not a coincidence, guys. Up the Idle Hands Blues, exactly, mate. Idle Hands Blues. Honestly, this is, by the way, it's the best coffee shop in Manchester, and the City fan runs it. So, but I honestly think Ryan Shirky is the number 2 option for the number 10 role. Number target 3 was Neil Warnock. Yeah, imagine. I would love Warnock at City, by the way. Unironically, Warnock just to be there in a Brian Kidd type role, just working with Guardiola on the training ground. Imagine it, man. Imagine. Like a Scott Carson kind of type approach with his experience. But yeah, anyway. I think it's very obvious to me that Ryan Shirky is target number 2 in the number 10 role, but it works for me. But anyway, going back to that's the sort of the context of this transfer news this morning, and it comes out this morning from Matteo Moretti. Who is he? I don't really know how much he is. Fabrizio Romano's gone big on it anyway. And Fabrizio said this morning that City have initial bid for Tijjani Reijnders has received by AC Milan in the recent hours. Proposal worth €60 million, including add-ons. AC Milan want more to let the midfielder leave. Negotiations are advancing. I mean, this is just negotiations. You don't go in high. I know everyone wants to get it done, and everyone's feeling very needy right now, you know. I get this sense that people are just like, come on. But some people are adults. Come on, lads. You know, get your head together. You know, we're obviously negotiating here. It's obvious that we're going to take our time with this, and we're going to get it done, and it's going to be done properly. I think this is going to happen. I think City, the quotes from Caldoon, to me, suggests this is a City who are very much focused. So anyway, he said the proposal worth around 60 million euros, including add-ons. 60 million euros is what, like 47 million quid, isn't it? Or something like that. I'm going to Google 60 euros. 60 euros in pounds is 50 million. Okay, it's 50 million quid, so it's not nothing. And, oh God, I tell you, look at the state of Google search results these days, man. It's an absolute mess. Look at all that. Look at all this before you get to the actual results. Google, sort it out, man. So 50 million quid. If it's add-ons as well, you're looking at 55 million pounds there. What I think will happen, they wanted 75. You gave them 75. Okay, they wanted 75. And what's 75? 75 euros is 63 million quid. Oh, yeah, we'll get close to that. Absolutely, we'll get that. It's an add-on kind of deal, isn't it? We'll get to that. Let's see what Matteo Moretto has said. Has he gone on at all as well? There we go. He's come out with it as well. He said, his words were, City have submitted their first offer to Milan for Tijjani Reijnders. The total amount, including fixed and variable parts, is around 60 million. Total amount. The Rossoneri club, this is not sufficient. The negotiations will continue. An approved offer is expected from City, who want the Dutchman for the Club World Cup. I'll tell you what's going to happen here. Maybe they won't all be done, Usman, but I would be surprised, mate, if we don't get... Look, if Shirky's actually an option, if we don't get Ryan Shirky and Reijnders and maybe Ryan Aït-Nouri, all the Ryans right now. How's it pronounced? Is it Ryan? Is it Ryan or Rayan? That's what I say, Ryan. But I reckon it'll be... They'll probably then go, we want 80 now. And they'll go, well, we'll give you 67. Give us 75. We'll settle on 70. What they'll do is they'll get to around 70 million euros with some add-ons, and that'll get the job done. You know how these things work. They go low, they go high, they go a little bit higher, they go a little bit lower, and eventually it works out in the middle. It's just a dance, man. It's just a dance. Like, they all know what they're doing. Like, everyone knows what they're doing, and it's one of those things where you just sort of accept it. And and you got to bear in mind it's in euros as well, and he is the best midfielder in Serie A, and that's not me saying that, that's Serie A saying that. Literally, Serie A, we're saying the Serie A midfielder of the season, Tijjani Reijnders was named it. So there we go. Tijjani Reijnders was voted as best midfielder Serie A this season. So there we go. So he won the award this season for best midfielder. So it's not just us saying that. If you get the best midfielder and he's literally Gundogan light for around 60 million quid or whatever, something like that, it's a cracking deal. You want to get the best midfielders out of the best leagues, and Serie A is a cracking league, obviously. So it's one of those things where I think this is really going to happen. There's no obvious signs of competition for this. There might be someone that appears. There were rumours of Real Madrid a little bit, but I don't think that's going to happen either. But it's one of those things. I am not worried about this deal at all. I think this is almost nailed on. It just feels like one of those ones where they're doing the slight dance, they're waiting for the season to finish, they were assessing all this kind of stuff, and yeah, that's where we're at. By the way, 300 people watching and 38 likes. That means only 1 in 10 of you liked it. Can you do me a favour, guys, and please give the video a like? It would be massively appreciated. And don't forget as well, look, This is a fact. There's going to be so much transfer stuff. So much transfer stuff over the next 2 weeks. Caldoon himself said it. So if you want to stay in the loop with the City stuff, and look, people in the chat, like Odin, for example, who's been a member for ages, Iptris has been here for ages, and all these people get paid daily as well. If you want to keep up to it, this channel's good for this stuff, I promise you. I can go live all the time because I'm at home. This is what I do full time. So subscribe. There's going to be so many videos and so much transfer stuff over the next 2 weeks because Caldoon himself said it. So there we go. So subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, and we'll all be following all these transfer rumours. There were some Gundogan rumours around yesterday too, and also Bernardo Silva rumours. So I'm going to get onto them in a little bit as well. But I think this is very obviously going to happen, and I'm very happy about it too. I think Reijnders... thank you very much, Odin. Odin said, best channel, City channel, lovely down-to-earth fan, man. Thank you. I am a family guy. And look, I tell you what, if you're new to my channel, I am not a reactionary guy. I'm probably not the best analyst. I might not even be the funniest. But I can guarantee I'll be the friendliest. Or at least the most normal, anyway. And I tell you, I think I'm pretty good at reading the bigger picture as well. That's what my skill set is, I reckon. I'm sort of the broad strokes and summing up the mood of where things are. Thank you very much, Garcia, in the chat. It's very nice. But it's one of those things where there's Yeah, thanks for the chat to Tom as well. It's really nice, guys. But yeah, there's going to be loads of stuff, and I can't wait to go through all the transfer rumours with you guys as well, because I think it's going to be kicking off quite a fair bit. This is going to happen. If you don't know much about Tijjani Reijnders, get excited, and I really mean this. He's the kind of guy that you just love to watch play, and that's what I really like about these links so far, the strongest ones. I even include Gibbs-white in this. Some people don't, but watch him closely. Very skillful player, lots of skill. But anyway, if you're not moved by him, Ryan Aït-Nouri, Ryan Cherki, Tijjani Reijnders, all these guys are very silky footballers. They're all guys who will do flicks and tricks. They'll all do the little through balls. They all love one-touch passing. They all love to beat a man as well. They all love to get forward and try and even score a goal. Even Ryan Aït-Nouri does as well. I really like it. And Get Paid Daily in the chat says he's most excited for Ryan Aït-Nouri. I agree. Very Cancelo-esque. But actually left-footed, which would be good. And I would love that as well. Players that can all, all offer something. And I would love Gibbs-white too. I agree with Iptris in the chat. I think he does cover the weaknesses of all the other players. I think, you know how Bernardo right now these days, he's not quite got the magic that he used to, but he's a shuttler. And he covers everything. Gibbs-white has got much more of that stamina, but actually can cross a little bit De Bruyne-esque. He can. He genuinely can. He's a better creator these days than Bernardo Silva and has the energy. And he has the intense focus. He's a manager's dream. So if you got him too, I would love it. Thank you very much, Parra Miguel, mate. Really kind of you. But yeah, I would be buzzing to get Gibbs-white because I think he would fill that box-to-box 8. You could also play alongside Rodri if you needed to. He could play as a 10. He could play on the right wing if you want him to. I bet he could be a cracking right back. He's a proper footballer, put it that way. He won't be a right back, but the point I'm saying is, in the way that Bernardo, put him on left back, he'd be fine. Put him in midfield. Put him as a false 9. You want footballers, and I think Gibbs-White's that to me. But then you had Tijjani Reijnders, and Reijnders is the kind of guy, he has that very Gundogan-esque ability to crash the box and score goals. Effortlessly technical. Give him the ball in any place. He'll get the ball from the centre backs. He'll get the ball in tight spaces. He can do that inside left channel thing, which Bernardo Silva and David Silva and Gundogan were really good, where they get, in the area, and they're just very good in the sort of like half spaces, and they can cut it back or whatever. He's great. He's a controller. He can pass it around. Very technically gifted, very skillful, good size as well. And then you get Ryan Cherki, who has so much ability, just an absolute magician. Of course, people will talk about his work rate and all that kind of stuff, but honestly, the way football's going right now, you need magicians. Guardiola wants players to work. He wants to stick in the system, but Guardiola also understands that you give people like De Bruyne, like Messi and whatever, you give them a little bit of a free rein to do what they want because they're magic. And the stats that Ryan Cherki has show that he's actually a bit of a unicorn of a footballer. Like his ability to be involved in all stages of play and create chances, be it through his footwork, be his left foot, his right foot, his dribbling, his vision. Unparalleled right now. Genuinely a special footballer. And even though he may not be the hardest working, he's 21 years old. And actually, there's a lot of reports suggest that, he's a bit of a spiky personality. But I don't think he is. I mean, a lot of people have also said that, it might just be he's North African, and there's a reputation that some North Africans get in parts of France, which might be a little bit unfair. We all know it. And I'm not saying all... I'm choosing words carefully there. It could be the French media, sort of. We see it in the English media. Look, what do we see about certain footballers in the English media? They get a certain reputation. It happened to Sterling. It happened to Rashford. We see it. There's a lot of that, and I'm not going to choose my words too strongly, but it happens where some players get a reputation because they're... just because of who they are or where they're from or whatever, And I was reading some coach reports where one coach said he expected it to be different, but it turns out that Cherki's actually a really nice, infectious, lovely guy. And it's one of those things where he might not be the hardest working guy in the world, but apparently he's a nice guy. And let's be honest, if he's really serious about his career, you go to somewhere like Guardiola to challenge you. If you want a cozy ride where someone's going to let you do nothing and glide about, go for somewhere else. But if you want to become a fucking legend, go to Manchester City, man. Go to Manchester City under Guardiola, who'll make you work. But he'll make you world class if you let him. When he'll say, you can do this on the ball, you can do that and whatever. Reincarnation milk. The reason I didn't go there with that word is because I don't know enough. And I think it's lazy for me to bring out the R word if I don't know enough about the situation. I've read a little bit here and there, but I haven't read enough comments to validate that myself, if that makes sense. So I would leave that to people who know a lot more about it. But I know it's sort of true that certain, people of different backgrounds in different countries are definitely vilified a little bit more because we all see it. So, but I think Cherki, for what I can tell, he's a nice guy. Is he the hardest working? I don't know. But we'll see. Because I think that Samir Nasri came across as a very friendly guy, but he was also spiky, you know. And Nasri's one of my favourite footballers, really, in terms of technical footballers. I thought Nasri was a genius. But he was another one. He didn't quite control himself, you know. But we'll see. But there, Jaffis Prod said in the chat there, said even Lacazette said what he thought with the media would be of Shirky, but it turned out he was adorable, etc. Yeah, I think he'll be a really nice guy. Look, if he's a nice guy, you know, Grealish is a nice guy, and he'll be a lot cheaper. But anyway, but this guy is going to happen. I'm very excited for this. I think Reijnders is going to tick the box. I've been so disappointed watching City for the past couple of years and watching the technical ability slowly lower. Because, look, go back to peak Manchester City, you know, even the treble winning City, Grealish, highly technical. Say what you want about Jack Grealish, but that guy is an insanely technical footballer. You can't get the ball off him. It sticks to him like glue. He controls it really well. He's a possession machine. Mahrez, a technical maestro. Bernardo Silva, a technical maestro. Gundogan, a technical maestro. You know, and, you know, Kevin De Bruyne, a technical maestro. We had Cancelo in the side at one point. We had people like Zinchenko in defence, technical maestros. You know, all these players that were such a high-level quality. And it started to get less and less because, you know, we brought in Kovacic, who isn't quite as technically brilliant as maybe Gundogan at his best. Gundogan is here, but he's not as good as he used to be. Bernardo Silva's dipped a little bit in terms of his, you know... And then the wingers, Savinho and Doku are great, but they're not as technical as Grealish and Mahrez would be. It's all dipped a little bit in terms of the technical quality. And the midfield has got older. Like, De Bruyne is not as technical as he used to because he's got older and he's leaving anyway. And Rodri's not there. And Nunes isn't quite as smart as those guys. Phillips was a miss as well. I guess what I'm trying to say is that the midfield just lowered in quality. And we couldn't control it quite as well. Even though we were still good at it. No, we just weren't the best at it, hands down. Where we were previously miles ahead of everyone else at that. Reijnders brings that level up again. Ryan Shirky brings that level up again. These kind of people who can keep the ball, technical players, I've always wanted that, man. I want that back. I want people who could caress the ball, and Reijnders absolutely fulfills that. So I think this is going to happen. I expect it'll move reasonably quickly. This I think what Khaldoon has said is relevant to this. I honestly presume at this point we've got, you know, our targets 1 and 2. I think Wirtz was our target for number 1 for the 10 role. That's not happened. And I'm going for the cheaper option, who might even be more exciting. Who knows, man? Like, it's just obviously right now we're negotiating, and I'm looking to see if there's any more news constantly on my phone. I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm just trying to see if anything else has happened, because it feels like the kind of morning where things are happening all the time right now. There's a little bit of news as well going around, wasn't there? I just saw a little bit of news here from my man Asan. Let me go back to, where's it gone? I just saw this on my timeline here. So, Aziz, who posts, I think in Arabic, apparently, there's some, according to Jack Gorn, Edison apparently doesn't know if he's going or not, but we want Diogo Costa, and apparently we agreed terms of him. It looks like João Garcia is going to Barcelona. I mean, there's not much we can do about that, by the way. João Garcia is allegedly a Barcelona fan, and he already plays in Barcelona for Espanyol. He's obviously going to go there. And Khaldoon didn't admit we made mistakes, by the way, yeah, but they're very self-aware. That's why I've not been worried about it at all. There's a little bit of news going around this morning. Let me translate this as well. Tom of Daily Mail says 3 seasons at Forest, gibbs-white should move to City. I think that's going to happen too. There's a little bit of news here as well. This said that City have agreed with Diogo Costa on personal terms. It remains to reach an agreement with Porto. Yeah, this is a little Portuguese news there. It's settled between the player and the club. The value needs to be agreed on with Porto. I think they've been waiting on João Garcia. But João Garcia, I don't think we can win that. He already lives in Barcelona. He's a Barcelona fan. And Barcelona want him to be number 1. They've got Szczesny right now. It's clearly he's going to go there. And I would choose it if I was him too. Like, I don't know what his life's like, but he's a Barcelona fan. Living in Barcelona, playing for Espanyol, and Barcelona want you to sign them. Why would you not go there? Like, come on, man. Like, you just would. So I think it's one of those things where I don't think we can win that one. I mean, we might be able to, but you might fancy the Premier League. But look, come on. Realistically, we've got to be honest about these things. You all have different motivations. So I don't think anyone thinks... You think he is worth 100 million, Sammy? That's mad, that, mate. I don't think he's worth 100 million, gibbs-white. No, I'm sorry, mate. I don't think Sean saying you prefer Mainu from United. Mainu is not as good as Gibbs-white. That's not just me saying that. I think Kobbie Mainoo is very talented, but not worth. No, I don't think anyone thinks he's not worth 100 million, Sammy. It won't be 100 million. It'll be like 70. It'll be like 70 in the end or something like that, which is pretty much the standard fare for, you know, talented young English players these days. It'll be 70 million. It'll be 70 million in the end. So this is an interesting little bit of news as well, which I saw. What's going on here? Lots of... how do you translate that now? How do I translate it? Translate selection to English. According to Matteo Moratti, Milan wants 75 million euros. That's about Tijjani Reijnders, by the way. Now that's going to happen. If City offer 60, that's only about 70 million pounds difference, isn't it? 7 million pounds difference in sterling. Here's another little bit of news as well from Jack Gorn at the Daily Mail. Despite Guardiola using recent press conferences to talk about his desire to build a smaller squad, this may differ from Hugo Viana. Guardiola wants a smaller squad. I think the compromise will be like 24 players, including obviously 3 keepers there. So then you've got like 23 players. And bear in mind, a couple of them will be youngsters as well, like Rico Lewis and whatever, Oscar Bob, people like that. I think we'll end up getting a slightly bigger squad than Guardiola wants, but I think it won't be 25. I think it'll be Scott Carson will be one of them. And there'll always be one injured. You know, there'll always be one injured. So there you're down to 22 already. And at that point, you're leaving, 1 or 2 at home a week, but that's life, unfortunately. That's how it goes. Then there'll be 2 injured and everyone will be on the bench. I understand Guardiola wants a small squad. Get rid of your favourites. Absolutely agree. You got to get everyone who's in the squad who's available. Let me just try and find this. I saw this potential breakdown of the squad for next year based on rumours from Blue City Brain. It's a great account, by the way. I'd absolutely recommend following them. Was it Blue City Brain? It wasn't Blue City Brain. Who was it? I saw it this morning. Was it Sky Blue Times, maybe? Yes, it was Sky Blue Times. Give them a follow. Sky Blue Times. Really good follow. Here's a potential squad based off the links right now for... So it says Joan Garcia, but it could be Diogo Costa instead, and Stefan Ortega. Then he's got Livramento, Nunes, then Diaz and Kusanov, Vitor Reis, then Vardial, Nathan Ake, Ryan Nori, Nico O'Reilly, then Rodri, Nico Gonzalez, Oscar Bob Savino, Foden Shirky, Reijnders, Gibbs-white, Doku Echeverri, Haaland, Mamouche. These are the players at the bottom that would have to go for that. De Bruyne, Carson, Bernardo, Edison, Stones, Gundogan, Walker, McAtee, Kanji, Kovacic, Grealish, then obviously Rico Lewis, Phillips, Bar, Peroni, Doyle. That would have the homegrown, so 5 out of the 8. That would have 17 out of 70 of non-homegrown and 121 total. But Rico Lewis could be in the squad anyway because easily can be. Because he's under 21. So it'd be something like that. I can see it. That's a 23-man squad, but without Rico in it as well. So 24-man. But I think Rico would be there anyway. I think he'd just be there, Joshua. I think he'd just stay around. So I like the idea of that, man. Yeah, I'm very excited by these potential rumours. I think City's squad next season is going to be very different. I don't think we'll get Rodrigo. I might be wrong there, but I think City will move reasonably swiftly on their signings. I think we'll know very quickly how feasible, if some of these deals are going to happen or not. I'm quite excited for it. I think we're going to have a player done inside the next week. I think we'll have 2 players done inside the next 2 weeks and maybe a third just in time for the Club World Cup. What I do know is that you guys should give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing videos every single time a major bit of breaking news happens. For now, though, I'm going to finish my coffee, get some breakfast, get dressed, and head out with my family. Have a lovely day, and I'm sure I'll see you live in the next few hours again if some big news happens. Bye-bye, guys. Have a great morning. In a bit.